Hi, Karen Cree Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. We are still experiencing a really interesting kind of push me, pull you quality of energy. We've been experiencing this energy off and on all year. It's tempting with this celestial energy at play for us to want to bear down and push with will and hard work to try to force things to happen. It's kind of like pounding on the enter key on the keyboard 3 million times while the little loading icon swirls around. Our efforts are really not going to affect anything and actually have the potential, if we're not careful, to leave us feeling frazzled and depleted if we allow ourselves to be seduced by the old ways of doing things. If you feel stuck right now, it's because the third dimension itself is somewhat stuck. Every planet this week that has the promise of bringing us momentum is paired with another kind of planetary placement that has the potential to actually work against it. You might feel this week all revved up and know where to go, or that everything you're trying to create seems to be subject to errors or the need for revision or even confusion. We're being invited by the planets to explore our past patterns and, in particular, to explore how we can better communicate in order to stop the spread of information that's untruthful, harmful, or works against the greater good of the whole. Our theme this week is speaking words of truth. We're also being reminded of two very important lessons this week, lessons that we know, but we have a tendency to forget in the process of being mesmerized by the earth dream in which we're living. Lesson one: each and every one of us has our own unique energy blueprint, a vibrational signature that's amplified when we create in alignment with our true purpose and from a place of authentic self-expression. When we're being true to ourselves, when we're living in alignment with what feels authentic and real to us, then our purpose and our ability to access support is amplified. The converse is, of course, also true. If we're trying to create against who we truly are, if we're compromising or settling for less, or we're telling ourselves things like, I'll wait till later. I'll do that later when all my ducks are in a row, when my kids are grown, when I have more money, when the economy is better, when I have more time. Even if you're putting it off, you're still creating. We never stop creating. But whatever we create from a place of compromise or putting it off causes us to stray from our unique vibrational signature. And that straying away from that signature serves one function only: it creates disorganization, pain, chaos, anger, bitterness, and disappointment in response to that straying away from our true selves. And that pain that we experience is not you screwing up, it's just a signal from your higher self that's saying, hey, hello, you're off the path. What do we need to do right now to get you back onto the road to your authentic self so you can fulfill your purpose? If you want to create from an empowered and powerful position, you have to be aligned with your authentic self. There's no wiggle room here. The second thing we're learning is that we can amplify our creative power exponentially when we stop using brute force and letting impatience run the show. Everything we bring into form starts first in the quantum field as a non-manifested potential. That quantum potential is being carefully organized on levels of the non-material plane first. And if we try to override this organizing process and push something into form before it's ready and before we anchor the energy with great deliberation and consciousness, we run the risk of our creation process running amok. Now more than ever, our creative process needs to be made with amplified deliberateness. We cannot afford to react or be reactive. We have to take time each day to really ground ourselves in the right timing of our creative expression and tend to the birth of our creative experience like loving cosmic midwives. We have to do this first and then let the universe manage the details. Implementing and trusting this process is going to give you tremendous relief and exponentially amplify your creative power. We think it's going to make us weak. We think it's laying back and being lazy, but it's actually the most important thing we can do to create effectively in alignment with our authentic selves. The sun this week transits in the gate 14. This is a gate that's often associated with money. We're exploring our relationship with our authentic selves, our work, money, and the economy. This energy brings us the challenge of learning to trust that when we are aligned, the right opportunities that bring resources show up. We're learning to value our resources and to appreciate how easily they can be created when we are aligned, and to be gracious and grateful and not take for granted the resources that we have. There is a shadow, if you will, to this energy when we are unbalanced and fearful of not having enough. The energy of the gate 14 can create a lot of fear and worry about money in particular, causing us to be willing to compromise on our right work or do whatever we have to do for the sake of material gain. The code for staying in the elevated expression of the gate 14 lies in the energy that the earth highlights this week. The earth is transiting the gate 8, the gate of fulfillment. The gate 8 helps us learn to express ourselves authentically, to learn to wait for the right people to see the value of who we are, and to share ourselves vulnerably but powerfully with all of our heart. This week, we work on learning to trust that we are a unique expression of the divine with a purpose and a path, and we have to find that path and walk it without self-judgment or holding back. Being who you truly are is the most important contribution that you can give to the world. When you live your life as yourself, when you are making choices and conscious and deliberate decisions around fulfilling the true story of who you are, then all the support moves into place for you to fully experience that level of self-expression, that fulfillment, if you will, of that unique once-in-a-lifetime cosmic event that is you. That's your job this week. Be yourself. Be the most radical, uncompromising, unrelenting, delicious, beautiful expression of who you truly are this week, and watch and see what shows up in response. That's it. Have a great week.